Hey everyone, welcome back to the Spanish faculty. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. Today we're diving into something super practical.
We're teaching you how to talk about your daily life in Spanish, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed.
Think about it. What do you do every single day? You wake up, you eat, you work or study, you relax.
Exactly. And by the end of this lesson, you'll know how to describe all of that in Spanish.
So stick with us because this is the kind of Spanish you'll actually use every single day.
Let's get started. All right, Alex, let's start with the morning. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I hit the snooze button about 3 times.
Okay, but after that?
I get out of bed, eventually.
Perfect. So in Spanish, I wake up is me despierto.
Me despierto. So that's I wake myself up?
Exactly. It's a reflexive verb. You're doing the action to yourself.
Got it. What about I get up?
That's me levanto. Let's break it down. Me means myself, and levanto means I get up.
Me levanto. So me despierto, me levanto. First I wake up, then I get up.
Yes. Now, what time do you usually wake up?
Around 7 in the morning.
In Spanish, you'd say, me despierto a las 7 de la mañana.
Me despierto a las 7 de la mañana. Okay, so a las means at.
Right, and de la mañana means in the morning.
What if I wake up at 7:30?
You'd say, me despierto a las 7:30. Y media means and half.
A las 7:30. Nice. What about other times, like 7:15?
That's 7:15, 7 and a quarter.
And 7:45?
8 menos cuarto. Literally 8 minus a quarter.
Okay, that makes sense. So after I get up, I usually take a shower.
Perfect. I take a shower is me ducho.
Me ducho. Another reflexive verb?
Yep, you're showering yourself.
What if I want to say I take a bath?
That's me baño.
Me baño. Simple enough. Then I brush my teeth.
In Spanish, me cepillo los dientes.
Me cepillo los dientes. Wait, let me guess. Cepillo is like brush?
Exactly. And los dientes means the teeth.
Cool. Then I get dressed.
That's me visto.
Me visto. Okay, so now I'm clean and dressed. What about breakfast?
I eat breakfast is desayuno.
Just desayuno. No me?
Nope, this one's not reflexive. You're not eating yourself.
Good point. So desayuno. What if I want to say what I eat?
You just add it, like desayuno cereal. I eat cereal.
Desayuno cereal. What about eggs?
Desayuno huevos.
Huevos. And toast?
Desayuno pan tostado.
Pan tostado. I like that. What about coffee? Please tell me there's coffee.
Of course. I drink coffee is tomo café.
Tomo café. Wait, tomo means I drink?
Yes, but it also means I take. Spanish uses tomar for drinking.
So I could say, tomo café con leche. I drink coffee with milk.
Perfect. Con leche means with milk.
Nice. Okay, so let me try to put this all together.
Go for it.
Me despierto a las 7. Me levanto. Me ducho. Me cepillo los dientes. Me visto. Desayuno cereal. Tomo café.
That was perfect. You just described your entire morning routine in Spanish.
I'm impressed with myself.
You should be. Now let's move on to the rest of the day. All right, after breakfast, what do you usually do?
I go to work.
Okay, I go to work is voy al trabajo.
Voy al trabajo. So voy is I go.
Exactly. And al trabajo means to work.
What if someone goes to school?
That's voy a la escuela or voy a la universidad for university.
Voy a la escuela. Got it. How do you say I leave the house?
Salgo de casa.
Salgo de casa. And I return home?
Regreso a casa. Or you can say vuelvo a casa.
Regreso a casa. Vuelvo a casa. Both work?
Yep. Now, how do you get to work?
I drive.
In Spanish, manejo or conduzco both mean I drive.
Manejo, conduzco. What about I take the bus?
Tomo el autobús.
Tomo el autobús. What about the train?
Tomo el tren.
And walking?
Camino. I walk.
Camino. Simple. So I could say camino al trabajo.
Perfect. Or voy al trabajo caminando. I go to work walking.
Nice. Okay, so I'm at work now. How do I say I work?
Trabajo.
Just trabajo?
Yep, super simple.
What if I want to say I work 8 hours?
Trabajo 8 horas.
Trabajo 8 horas. And I work from 9 to 5.
Trabajo de 9 a 5.
De 9 a 5. Okay, what about lunch? When do people usually eat lunch?
In Spanish-speaking countries, lunch is usually around 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
That's later than here.
Yeah, and lunch is called el almuerzo.
El almuerzo. So I eat lunch is
Almuerzo. Same pattern as breakfast.
almuerzo. What if I eat at a restaurant?
Almuerzo en un restaurante.
Almuerzo en un restaurante. What about at home?
Almuerzo en casa.
En casa. Easy. What are some common lunch foods?
Well, you might eat arroz, rice, or pollo, chicken.
Arroz, pollo. What about soup?
Sopa.
Sopa. And salad?
Ensalada.
Okay, so I could say almuerzo pollo con arroz?
Perfect. What do people do after lunch? In some countries, people take a siesta, a short nap.
Wait, that's real? I thought that was just a stereotype.
It's real in some places. I take a nap is duermo una siesta.
Duermo una siesta. I like this tradition.
What about free time? What do you do when you're not working?
I watch TV, hang out with friends, that kind of thing.
I watch TV is veo la televisión, or just veo la tele.
Veo la tele. What about I listen to music?
Escucho música.
Escucho música. And I read?
Leo.
Leo. Like I read a book.
Leo un libro.
Perfect. What about exercising?
Hago ejercicio.
Hago ejercicio. What about specific activities like running?
I run is corro.
Corro. And swimming?
Nado.
Nado. What about going to the gym?
Voy al gimnasio.
Voy al gimnasio. Okay, what if I'm just relaxing at home?
You can say descanso en casa. I rest at home.
Descanso en casa. I like that one.
What about spending time with friends?
Yeah, I do that. How do you say it?
Paso tiempo con amigos.
Paso tiempo con amigos. What if we go out?
Salgo con amigos.
Salgo con amigos. Where might we go?
You might go to a cafe. Voy a un café. Or to the movies. Voy al cine.
Voy al cine. I like going to the movies.
Me too. You could say, voy al cine los fines de semana.
Los fines de semana. On weekends?
Exactly.
Okay, so let me practice a bit. Trabajo de 9 a 5. Almuerzo a la 1. Por la tarde voy al gimnasio. Luego descanso en casa.
That was great. You're really getting this.
Thanks. What's next?
Let's talk about the evening. What do you usually do after work?
I go home, make dinner, relax.
Perfect. So you already know regreso a casa, I return home.
Right. What about I make dinner?
Preparo la cena, or hago la cena.
Preparo la cena, hago la cena. Both work?
Yep. Cena is dinner.
So breakfast is desayuno, lunch is almuerzo, dinner is cena.
Exactly. And I eat dinner is
Ceno?
perfect.
Ceno. What time do people usually eat dinner?
In Spain, it's often around 9 or 10 at night.
That's so late.
I know, but in Latin America, it's usually earlier, around 7 or 8.
Okay, that makes more sense. So I could say ceno a las 7
Yes, ceno a las 7 de la noche.
de la noche, at night. Got it. What are some common dinner foods?
You might eat pasta, which is the same in Spanish.
Pasta. What about pizza?
Also the same, pizza.
Nice. What about fish?
Pescado,
Pescado. And vegetables?
verduras, or you can say vegetales.
Verduras, vegetales. What about a sandwich?
Un sándwich, or in some countries, un bocadillo.
Un sándwich. Easy. Okay, so after dinner, what do people do?
Lots of things. You might watch a show, veo un programa,
Veo un programa. What about a movie?
veo una película.
Veo una película. What if I'm watching something online, like on Netflix?
You can say veo Netflix. It's pretty universal now.
Good to know. What about talking with family?
Hablo con mi familia.
Hablo con mi familia. What if I call them?
Llamo a mi familia.
Llamo a mi familia. What about texting?
Envío mensajes or mando mensajes.
Envío mensajes, mando mensajes. Both work?
Yep. What about using your phone in general?
Yeah, I'm on my phone a lot in the evening.
You can say uso mi teléfono.
Uso mi teléfono. What about social media?
Uso las redes sociales.
Las redes sociales. Nice. Okay, what about getting ready for bed?
Good question. Let's talk about that. What do you do before bed?
I brush my teeth again, change clothes, maybe read for a bit.
Okay, so you already know me cepillo los dientes.
Right. What about changing into pajamas?
Me pongo el pijama.
Me pongo el pijama. What does pongo mean?
Pongo means I put on. It comes from poner.
Got it. What if I just say I change clothes?
Me cambio de ropa.
Me cambio de ropa. What about washing my face?
Me lavo la cara.
Me lavo la cara. And if I want to say I go to bed?
Me acuesto.
Me acuesto. So that's different for my sleep.
Exactly. Me acuesto is I go to bed, like getting into bed. Duermo is I sleep.
Okay, so me acuesto, then duermo.
Right. You could say, me acuesto a las 11 y duermo 8 horas.
Me acuesto a las 11 y duermo 8 horas. I go to bed at 11 and sleep 8 hours.
Perfect. What if you have trouble sleeping?
Oh, that happens sometimes.
You can say, no puedo dormir. I can't sleep.
No puedo dormir. What if I'm tired?
Estoy cansado. For a woman, estoy cansada.
Estoy cansado. What about I'm sleepy?
Tengo sueño.
Tengo sueño. Why tengo?
Because in Spanish, you have sleepiness. Same with hunger. Tengo hambre.
Tengo hambre. So Spanish says I have hunger instead of I am hungry?
Exactly.
That's interesting. Okay, let me try the whole evening routine.
Go for it.
Me despierto a las 7 de la mañana. Me levanto, me ducho, me cepillo los dientes, me visto, desayuno cereal y tomo café.
Great start.
Salgo de casa a las 8. Voy al trabajo. Trabajo de 9 a 5. Almuerzo a la 1. Como pollo con arroz.
Perfect.
Después del trabajo, voy al gimnasio. Hago ejercicio. Regreso a casa a las 6. Preparo la cena.
Excellent.
Por la noche veo la televisión. Hablo con mi familia. Me cepillo los dientes. Me pongo el pijama. Me acuesto a las 11. Duermo 8 horas.
That was fantastic. You just described an entire day in Spanish.
I'm pretty proud of myself right now.
You should be. And remember, everyone's routine is different.
Right, some people might say, tomo el autobús instead of manejo.
Exactly. Or trabajo los fines de semana instead of weekdays only.
So just adapt these phrases to your own life.
That's the key. Make it personal to you.
What should people practice after watching this?
Try writing out your own daily routine in Spanish. Use the phrases we taught today.
And say it out loud.
Yes, speaking practice is so important.
Even if you're just talking to yourself.
Exactly. That's how you get comfortable with the language.
And if you make mistakes, that's totally fine.
It's part of learning. Don't worry about being perfect.
Just keep practicing, and it'll get easier.
So that's it for today's lesson. We hope you learned a lot.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Spanish faculty.
And let us know in the comments, what's one thing you do every day that you now know how to say in Spanish?
We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks so much for watching.
Hasta la próxima.
See you next time.